I'm joined now by Jim Hill from Target Masters in Columbia. Jim, thanks for joining us. So let's start from the beginning. Explain to me your stance on gun control.
My stance on gun control basically says it won't work at all. Let's just use the war on drugs. That's illegal. They still bring them across the border. Same thing will happen with guns. The bad guys will always have them. All gun control will do is make me more vulnerable to the bad guy.
Okay. So now my next question, and this one is a little bit open for interpretation. So have you ever been personally affected by an incident involving a gun? And that can mean a couple of things. That could mean a gun, it was a negative experience, or it could have been an experience where a gun made the difference for you in a positive way.
In all honesty, I have not had that experience. I try to avoid situations where you'd be put into that particular posture. So, never been an issue.
Okay, and that's a good thing, I would say. So here's a question we posed to our viewers. What changes, if any, would you make to Missouri gun laws?
Me personally, probably nothing. The laws are set up to where they pretty much protect the good people, and they're trying to make sure the bad guys don't get them. So I think Missouri law is actually pretty good. I think they did do a good deal when they lowered the age for 18-year-olds that are in the military service. They can get a concealed carry permit now. So I think they've gone the right direction.
Okay. So what do you have to say to people who are pointing to the Orlando massacre, the Sandy Hook shooting, or the Charleston church shooting, and they're using that as a reason for gun control reform?
Okay, the best I can say is 80% of your mass shooters acquired the guns legally through a dealer going through the ATF background check. 12% were stolen, 6% were illegally acquired because they couldn't buy them, somebody bought them for them. A good example, Columbine. Those boys weren't old enough to buy guns. A girl bought 2 for them, a guy bought 1 for them. And so gun control is not going to work.
Okay. So here's another question we asked our audience in our survey. Do you believe assault rifles should be banned?
Well, first of all, you have to define assault rifle, okay? People like me that have a background in the military, and assault rifles, one that is a select fire gun. It can either fire semi-automatic or fully automatic. The things that are termed assault rifle by the uneducated public are actually nothing more than semi-automatic rifles. They're going after them because of their looks, because they look military style, but they're not military.
So you're saying people often refer to a rifle as an assault rifle, and it may not actually be.
Right, they're doing it strictly on cosmetics.
Okay. That's interesting. Well, we could talk more about that in our little show and tell coming up here.
Okay.
Well, there are a lot of groups out there fighting for freedom. If you could sit face to face, or fighting for reform rather. Now, if you could sit face to face with someone from one of these groups, Moms Demand Action, we spoke to them earlier, what would you like to say to them?
I guess I would like to have them research and see what is real out there versus what they're being told. The politicians are good about stirring things, and they get to beating up on the firearm as a means to control the public. And I truly believe that's the whole gist about it, because, you go back in history, it says, thou shalt not kill. They still do it. You take the guns away, they're going to kill me with something. You look at England, that lady in Parliament, she was stabbed and shot. The guy had been in a mental hospital. How did he even get a gun in England? Nobody can have a gun in England, but he got one. So explain to me how banning something's going to work. I'm open to anything if they can convince me.
So do you believe there's a connection between a gun control, either a breakdown in what should have happened in the Orlando attack? Was that a failure of gun control laws, or what do you think happened there?
Me personally, I think it was just a hate crime, and it would have happened no matter what. And I don't think the laws broke down. Florida's like everybody else, and I haven't heard yet how that guy acquired that gun. I don't know if he bought it himself or what. But if he bought it and went through the background check, which is what I believe he did, then the federal government failed. They had him on a watch list and didn't block him.
Okay. Well, Jim, that's all the questions I have. Is there anything you'd like to add that I didn't necessarily ask you about?
About the only thing that I would like to add is for people, because if the permitless carry becomes a right in Missouri, if the governor signs it, the people really need to at least know the fine lines of the law. I don't want to see an innocent person carrying a gun, use it to defend themselves improperly, and go to prison. So they need to educate themselves on all subjects.
Okay. I will, Jim. Well, thank you.
No problem.